Hey y'all. Well, I wasn't going to do a video, 2 in a day. Did one this morning. But got to thinking about some things. I was doing a little tiller therapy, if you will. And I'll try to do a roll call here in a minute. This one may run a little long. Y'all ever have those thoughts run through your head and just hope you can get it right? Well, I'm going to try to do that tonight. But the gravity of a lot of stuff hit me tonight as I was tilling up what I had planned to be an overflow patch, tomatoes and some peppers, extra plants that I had. But pretty proud of myself at making the call to mow it down, till it under, and start over, because there wasn't but a couple of plants surviving with a few pest problems of neglect over the past few months. But we'll start over and put some peas there. But I was thinking about a tale of two greens, and I've had this on my porch just kind of as a decor for quite some time and brag about it. In the old canning shed, commonly referred to as the servant house, but not in that context like most of you that might be new joiners might think. There's a cool story in that. You'd have to watch some of the old videos. But this was canned about 30 years ago. Green beans grown on this place, canned by my mamaw and my mother and aunts on any particular day in the summer so many years ago. Still got the green to it. This is something that I canned off of my other side, my paternal grandmother's recipe called icicle pickles. Now, it calls for green food coloring, hence the odd green there. I would skip that step next time. A lot of sugar in this. These are sweet pickles, cucumbers. Quite tasty, but not good for a diabetic, I'll put it that way. But just thinking about the tale of two greens. Time will march on. Who knows what the future holds? But I may look back at this at some point like I have. Facebook is a flood of on this day last year for me, as I realize how far this place has become restored. Thought about it a lot today, and I don't know that I've got the energy to do it again. I can maintain it, but goodness gracious, all with hand tools and just beat back the years of overgrowth. But I'll look at this. So, hey Joel, 20 years from now, if the Lord tarries, and remember this day when I really realized the worth of some things. But I was tilling today, this morning. It's a pretty cool moment for me. Dad came over and brought some friends, another cherished friend of ours, Wally, from Lufkin. They've been friends for quite some time. And Dad needed an outing, and so did Wally. And it's really the first time that Dad's came and been able to spend a little time just decompressing. And I realized it when we was picking those old purple hull peas and corn. And then we moved to the porch, and we shelled and had lunch on the porch. Just an old simple country home. Definitely void of a woman's touch, but clean enough to exist. Jordan and I have, we keep it swept and clean, but it's definitely not to Mom's standards in there per se. But it's just an old country house. But I realized the worth of family. I know it, but it hit me again. Family and friends. The day progressed, and to put a little ad on Facebook for, I think we picked about 180 ears of corn as that wraps up for this growth on these stalks. And thought I'd sell a few. Wasn't really worried about selling it. I remember when it hit me, the worth of the rat race and all of it. It's been about 5 years ago. I was manager for a major outdoor chain. I'll leave the name out of it. Some of y'all can deduce through my profile and past stories. But I was running the warehouse end of it. And I'll never forget it. I was standing at that old cardboard baler, helping out some of my hands. We were real short-handed. Baling boxes. Didn't bother me, the work. We just won some type of little award within the company. I think it was a regional warehouse of the quarter or something, all our numbers looked good, and the bean counters were happy, and we got our little pat on the back. And I thought, is this what it's about? These 60-hour weeks, plenty of money in my pocket, but no time. No time to drive the 3 hours east to spend with mom or dad just on a random weekend, because you had a commitment to a job that paid the bills and made the world turn around for yourself. And I think that's when I began to check out, y'all. And they say that everything happens for a reason. It does, but I think some of us make bonehead decisions to make the things happen, and then we try to justify it. But God works it all together for good at the end. But a series of events, and chased the dream, and went from bill paying to struggling. But I was happy. Massive support from family and friends brought me to this place, and here we are a little over a year later. And don't get me wrong, things are fine, totally fine. In fact, I'll be announcing something next week that probably is a no-brainer. Said I wasn't going to go back into retail, but pretty cool announcement that kind of comes full circle, but I want to hold off till next week to let y'all know what that is. But I'll still be here and be more entrenched in the community than I was, even if that's possible. But kind of a cool opportunity I'm looking forward to. But we'll hold that for next week. But as I was saying, landed here, and those of you that struggle and try to make it, I realized, you know, it takes money to make the world go round, yes, and we have to be responsible. But I guess it was kind of like Atlas Shrugged. I was just tired of it. Not scared of work. I'd go dig a ditch, and same guy that wins company-wide accolades is out digging a ditch. Didn't bother me. It was good hard work and grounded me. Most times I don't know when the electricity bill is due until the lights are off, and thank God for smart meters. And, oh, that's right, that's due. But not from that background, but it just didn't matter anymore. And I know we live in a society that requires responsibility, and you have to take care of those things. We can't farm, certainly not any money in it. But everybody was asking me as I planted this huge garden, and what y'all are seeing, there's 5 of them out here, is maybe $30 worth of seed. So there's no money in the ground, a lot of labor. It's a labor of love. And as I posted that corn today, and was going to sell a few ears, Jordan sold a few ears over the weekend. Had people pulling up, friends that I know, new acquaintances even from this page, and money didn't matter. But I thought back to that old can of green beans, and it really warmed my heart. I saw some family today. Started off this morning with my cousin coming by and helping me out with this predator problem with chickens. Just want to identify what it is so we can get it in check. And then through the day, different cousins stopping by and family just to say hello. It all brought back that old front porch talk. That old boy stopped by late this evening, and he had stopped originally because of my egg sign, and we've been talking. He stopped again tonight, and we sat on the porch probably an hour. Then another young lady stopped by from Etoll. I sold dewberries to right after I got into this place. All new friends. And we caught ourselves sitting on the porch talking about life and just things. And I realized that's where it's at. I loaded them up with some peas, shelled, ready to go, some corn, a few tomatoes, and they wanted to pay me in a dozen eggs. It's not what it's, you can't buy this. It's not for sale. Mem canned, and those aunts of mine canned and filled that storehouse up. And we came and we took of that produce, and that's how we lived. I've made $30 off of this, so I'm good. I'm even. So no, I can't supply it all free to everyone, but close friends and family, why in the world would you charge? It's almost an insult to me, because if you calculated it out based on my past salary and the time I've spent in this garden, no one could afford it. So what's a couple of dollars when you get down to it? The gift of giving. I've learned that so often. Been blessed so much, even with Wally and that mower, and Dad acquiring that tiller, and just and my cousin coming by with a game camera. George Millard came by this evening with a game camera. And this patch will run its course, but for those in Nacogdoches, if you need fresh vegetables, go see old George's operation. He took it over from his dad, and know the help up there, and they're very proficient. Always got fresh vegetables up there for sale. And he stopped by as a friend, and I guess you could say we're competitors, but we're not. We're friends. We dang sure ain't trying to put each other out of business. We just got extra produce down the road. But he stopped by this evening after work, long day at work, made sure I had a game camera. Didn't know my cousin had stopped by this morning because he wanted to help with this chicken massacre. Funny how things change. So funny. So we're about to embark on a new chapter, and I thought how rapidly life changes. In the last 3 months, our life has dramatically changed on so many levels, and who knows where we'll be a year from now. I don't plan on going anywhere. So thankful that my uncle has let me come back and rent this place. The old house would need thousands in repair to make it another 50 years. It's livable for now. The old roof leaks, and lo and behold, it had to be my bedroom. So if y'all need to know if it's storming in Nacogdoches in the middle of the night, I can tell you, because my prone position is replaced by a bucket, and I have to hit the couch. Dad's worried about mold and all, and I guess that's a prevalent threat, but house has no insulation, holds it cool all day, but there's enough air moving in there. I don't think any mold could grow. But anyway, that's a side story. It's not a huge leak, but it's enough to aggravate you. I feel like I'm in China with a Chinese water torture some nights. And talk about aggravated. Oh well. But life is about the simple stuff, guys. It so is. Remember many days that $1,000 cash in my pocket and no worries on swiping that card at the store, versus now when things are totally fine. But you have to think about where you put your dollar. So happier now than I've ever been. Plan to stay on that track. But who knows? Just had those thoughts on my mind tonight. Didn't even plan to come on the video. But got that old patch tilled up, and I was vacillating between peas or corn. Corn I might sell a few ears, but peas sure are better. So we're gonna have another patch of peas. That's what I went with. I tried to give all this corn away today, even though I'm deleting it left and right on Facebook. Don't even know why I tried to sell it, because it don't matter. It's worth more than anyone has in their pocket, so no sense in even trying to sell it. But I guess I gave Jordan the bad news, and I've loaded everybody up that stopped. I'm like, if you want 4, take about 15, because whatever's left tonight, I gotta freeze. So me and Jordan's gonna get the chopping, but he wasn't excited about that news. I said, son, at dark, whatever we got left, we're going to chop up and quart up and put it in the freezer. He's like, all right, Dad. But you know what? That's making him. It's molding him. So many kids don't have this privilege anymore, and it's a privilege. It's hard work. And all I got to do is, he works a job, comes home, and starts early in the morning. So all I got to do is ask, and he'll be out there right beside me. And he'll remember this. He may watch this 20 years from now with me, as I'm laying in that nursing home bed. Wait, that makes me... Oh, wait, no, let's make it 50 years. How's that? I'm too young. Anyway, life's about what you make it, guys. Money won't do it at all. Anyway, exciting changes coming up. Let's do a quick roll call, and I'm anxious to... I know I need to wait a week on these silly game cameras, but I gotta know. So I'll probably be looking at those in the morning, see if we capture anything today. I've had about I guess about 8 chickens hatch in my chicken factory in there. About 4 more due tonight. So I'll tell you what beats all. Out of all these chickens, these layers are very agile, and they keep free ranging. And the big old white ones that I got from them old chicken houses last May 2018, there's about 8 of them left, and I hadn't found any of those killed. I guess it's an ignorant predator, because those are the fat ones and they can't move fast, but I guess they want a challenge. But the big old white ones are still kicking. But y'all get the feathers everywhere, and the little white ones are pretty smart. They're staying up out of the way, as you can see. But things will right themselves, I guess. I said this morning on the video, if I can catch that thing, whatever it is, a cat, coyote, whatever, I may have to grill that thing, because I know it's been chicken fed for about a month. It may taste like chicken for all I know. Anyway, have to laugh about it. It is what it is. All right, let's see who all's on here this evening. There's Miss Ann. How are you? I'm going to prop it up here real quick and get still, if I can do that. Kimberly Hill, how are you? And there's Miss Debbie. Oh, I'm so sorry I missed you. I was being lazy. I didn't even know you was here. Miss Debbie stopped by for some eggs and some corn. And I relayed that story today. I remember growing up, we were sitting on the porch shelling peas. Oh, it was probably about noon. And I remember growing up coming to this place, we'd pick till about 9 or 10 and shell till about noon. And then the old folks would disappear in the house, and you wouldn't see them for 3 or 4 hours. Then they'd come out and start stirring around, and we had to actually go out in the woods and use our imagination to keep busy. Who ever heard of something like that? Anyway, when we get hot and tired and come back in about 3 or 4 o'clock, they'd stir around a little bit. They'd been taking a nap, and we couldn't figure out why in the world would these old people want to sleep during the daytime. Well, when you start your day at 4 or 5, that's kind of what happens. We'd head to the lake after shelling peas all day and catch enough crappie for a mess. Them old peas would be ready to eat when we got back home. Fillet them, man, crappie and purple hull peas and cornbread. If y'all got something to beat that, don't even tell me, because I won't believe you. I just won't. But I was taking a nap, Debbie. I was taking a nap, being lazy for about 30 minutes. And missed you stopping by, but appreciate that. Hope y'all enjoy that corn. You sure could have took some more. It'd save me some trouble this evening. Hey, Alicia, how are you? Let's see, there's Susan checking in. Margaret, thank you, ma'am. There's Miss Kathy. Yeah, they're looking good. Mike's out in Cottonwood, California. Saw you're about to start pursuing your passion again there in the racing world, Mike. Go for it. It's worth it. It makes you alive. Get it done, especially in that situation. Jay, how are you? Thanks for coming in. There's Patricia up in North Carolina. Miss Vicky's in Louisville. My good friend Molly down in the Golden Triangle. How are you, ma'am? Good to see you. Hey, Ladina, how are you? So miss talking with you. I'm going to chit-chat for too long. There's Melissa from North Carolina. Thank you for that. Let's see. There's Jamie Johnson up in Henderson, Texas. Brenda's checking in from Beckville. Roy's in Houston. Oh, I did, Donna. Let me. Somebody asked me to show the watermelons the other day, and I didn't do it. And man, it was y'all don't even know. Well, you might, but having Dad on this place and walking the grounds and just seeing how proud he was of you know, you want to make your dad proud. You want to make your parents proud. And I don't know that I was setting out to that, but just watching him beaming at what a little labor and a few dollars did on this place, and God knows he's helped. But I'm definitely not a lay down. I'll work my butt off. But just watching the pride on his face, showing Wally and some of the others of all the produce that's growing and the hard work that's went in it, that was worth a blank check, I'll tell you. Old Hudson's up here on, everybody's wanting to know how we're keeping the deer out of the peas. We got a hound on the ground. I I'm not a big fan of tying a dog up, but it's for his own safety up here with this road and these chickens. Let me show you some of these watermelons. Dad spotted them, Dad and Betsy. So they're coming on. As you can see, we got the melon patch. I'm a little embarrassed about all the weeds. I hear you, baby. But as you can see, we've got watermelons coming. Let's see. We had a few more here. I did not plant any cantaloupes. I don't know, I'm not a big fan of cantaloupes. I guess I should have planted some. These are black diamonds. I planted those a little bit later. I've got some small ones on there. Yeah, that's how it goes on live video. Probably won't find them. There we go. There you go. A little bitty one there. But all is well, and they should do fine. Let's see here. There's Sandra checking in. I will, Sandra, sure will. Hey, Ray, how are you, buddy? Good friend. Ray Lucas checking in. There's Luke from down under Australia. Rhonda's in here. And there's my sweet little sister, Kim. Younger sister, that sounds better. She's still littler than I am. And I ain't but $1.40, so she's kind of tiny. That'll be $25, Kim, by the way. Still the truth. Hey, Susan, Arizona's watching. Hey, Dee, how are you? Yeah, that is a nice shirt. I wonder who got that for me. My little sister. Oh, now see, I guess I'll be on the game camera tomorrow. There's Angela Reed. That's right, it is worth more than gold. Emily's in Middle Tennessee. And my good friend down Huntsville Way, Miss Donna Wells. Where's my wild man comment, ma'am? There's Angela in San Antonio. Ron's in Fairmount, Texas. There's Miss Tanya back in Texas. There it is. Why are you talking about old people? Because I is one, Donna. Oh, man, there's my beloved teacher, Senora Hernandez. I can think of about 4 or 5 teachers out of, what is it, 12 years? Yeah, I made it in 12, guys. I don't know how I did it. I liked some of them so much I wanted to repeat a grade, but they wouldn't let me fail the test, so I had to move on to the next one. That's one of the dear ones, though. She was a good friend of my mother through the ROTC program in her younger years, and she was one of those teachers that made you remember and taught you respect. And there's even a rumor that for attention she ate a cockroach. Can't confirm or deny that that happened. But here we are talking about it these many years later and the lessons that we've learned. She taught me Spanish 1. And so now, living in East Texas, I know just enough Spanish to get me in trouble. And that's how I put it on the application. Raylan, I don't know. I'm pretty giving on this corn, but I'd probably have to grind some of it up for ethanol to put in the gas tank to make that trip to Oklahoma, but I guess I could consider it. There's Martin, how are you? Gary's checking in. And, oh, that's right, y'all are down in Blanco, Texas, Kim, that's right. I hope y'all are having a good camp out trip. In May. She bought an RV tow behind that SUV she's got, and they call it May. Whatever, it's cool. There's Emily again. And Kathy saying good evening. Charlotte saying hi. There's Roy from the world of old people. Well, you row on one side, I'll row on the other. There's Joanne hoping the storm rain. Well, they did not reach me, but I'll sure take a little storm on these peas. Well, I guess I'm going to have to plant some cantaloupe for you, Kim. There's Andrew. How are you, sir? Thank you, Susan. There's Cheryl, Patty from Abilene, and Gail. All right. We're about to run into an hour-long episode if I don't wind it up. Sun setting, and I'm going to just kick back and relax a little bit and revel in the blessings. And just know, if you show up here, I might charge you for the eggs, but I got chicken feed to buy. But I'll drop this in. I may be getting a discount on that pretty soon. we'll leave it at that till next week or Friday or something like that. Want to roll it out right, but we'll see. Y'all have a good evening. Just to understand, we do have to get out there and make a living and prepare and take care of our business, but whew, man, that's not what life's about at all. It's about a little sweat equity and some hard work, loving your friends and family more than anything, and a faith in Christ. That's just how I see it. Y'all have a good evening. Be the light.